what to know before you get this auto loan. I gotta go on here and mention this first. We gotta go on here and mention this because I don't know if a lot of people actually hear about this or not, but I want to come over here and share. So, as someone who works in a bank, I just wanted to put y'all on game to what you should know before you get this auto loan. What I would mention for you is, number one, think about I would say, look at what you, this is how we're going to put it. I would say first, look at your net income. What is that? Net income, well, you may have heard of gross profit. Gross profit is the profit you make before or after the initial taxes and initial things that come out of your paycheck. So like when you get paid, the paycheck you bring home, that's your gross profit. Net income is after that paycheck you get in your hand, how much money you have left at the end of the month. Well, if we're just doing a monthly basis, but that'll be like how much money you have left at the end of the month after all of your expenses, which include your rent, mortgage, utilities, bills, subscriptions, whatever. Find out, make sure you have a good idea of what your net income is. Number two, I would look at as just even plug in some numbers or even ask yourself, how comfortable are you with this after, you see your net income, you know where you're at, you know how much money you have at the end of the month, every month. Are you going to be okay with this auto loan that you're about to get, with the price of it? Are you going to be okay with this? And especially because likelihood is going to be a term that's going to be at least 3 to 4 years at minimum. And shoot, today's world, they got 8-year deals now. So it's going to be something that's going to be locked in. So just imagine this is the payment you are going to have solid probably for at least the next 3 to 8 years. Just imagine that. And then also on top of this, imagine what would happen if something happened to your primary income. What would happen? Just imagine this. I'm just looking out for everybody because this is big. It's big. It even got me. So that's why I'm trying to come on here and mention all this. So looking at your net income, plugging in how much this is going to be for you for the next few years at least, and then what would happen worst case if something happened to your primary income, like you only 2 years into this and something happened to your primary income or something happened to your health or whatever. How is that going to change things for you? And then the third thing I would like for you to think about is whatever vehicle you're looking at, is that the vehicle that is it a want or a need type thing? Because, of course, you walk in somewhere, they're going to try to get you the newest thing on the spot. Is it a want or a need? You got to be real careful with this because this gets a lot of people. It gets a lot of people. Especially down the line, you get something that's nice, and then down the line, some stuff happens, life happens, and then them payments are still due. I'm just trying to get people to think about it at least before. I learned this from a good person. If she sees it, she knows what I'm talking about. But prevention is better than cure. I would gladly second that. I would gladly say that. But I'm glad I went through everything I went through because I'm going on here to mention this to you all. And yeah, it gets real sticky around there with the vehicles. It get real sticky because you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Of course, you might need some wheels. Do what you gotta do. If it were me, I would recommend something for a lot cheaper price. I would recommend something with a lot cheaper price. Something that is not going to take up a long term length. Something that, worst case scenario, crap hit the fan, you still going to be all right. So that's what I would like to think about. And then also a fourth thing I would like you to mention, or like to mention too as well, is imagine if the money you're putting towards this every month, what would happen if you put that towards something else that made you more money? How would that look? That's a fourth thing I would like to mention in there. What would happen if the money you're about to put towards something every month, or we're about to put towards something every month, especially for something brand new, what would happen if you put that money towards something else that could make you more money? That's something I would like, at least like to generally share about this. Now you can proceed forward at your own thing. Do you? I'm not. Live your life. I'm just at least trying to be like I guess an insight. I'm basically trying to mention things that I wish I would have heard in a way. I mean, I probably kind of did here in a way, but you know, people don't like to listen to certain things. You know, we just like to keep living. You know, we like to live life sometimes. You know, we like to live a little bit, but then sometimes when you live a little bit, you know, it can come back to bite you. So I'm just coming over here and mentioning it. I'm just trying to help out some people, look out for some people, tell people what I, you know, and tell people what I wish I would have heard in the way I would have heard, wish I could have heard it, type thing. Not to necessarily discourage nobody, shoot, live your life, but I'm just trying to be like a little, like a guide, you know, like a guide, somebody that you can kind of rely on and ask a question and be like, hey, is this good? You know, should this, you know, type thing, and I give you my honest opinion or honest answer. You do you after that, but just be real careful on the I don't know, cause it gets real hard for a lot of people. It gets real hard for a lot of people, and age they don't care about. You know, I would say it could be somebody young, could be somebody old, could be somebody middle age. Just be careful. Be careful.